Joe Biden is thinking about this. Yesterday, we got a Gore boomlet. I want to start with the basic premise that because of Hillary Clinton's poll numbers, because of the way this town works, and because of the constant conversations about, oh my God, is she weak? Oh my God, is she vulnerable? Oh my God, look at Bernie Sanders rising in the polls. I don't think there's a Democrat under 34, excuse me. Every Democrat who would be 35 on Election Day next year has looked in the mirror and said, should I get in the race for president at this moment? Now, some have more reason to have that conversation than others, but everybody around this town is talking about it, so let's be honest. Let's start with Joe Biden. He's on vacation. I happen to been working the phones the last couple of days, and he has had very substantive conversations with people. How much would I have to raise? What would be the earliest I would get in? What would be the latest I could wait? I'm told in one conversation somebody joked with him, wait till the day of the first Democratic debate. Announce that morning and then show up at the debate. How would that rattle Hillary Clinton? So this is a big source of controversy. I want you to listen here. Martin O'Malley's a Democrat. Right now he's at the bottom of the polls. He says, come on in. Donald Trump says, I'd love that matchup.
I think Vice President Biden is a tremendous public servant for our country, and I would welcome his entrance into this race. I think that the more voices for progress that people in our party hear from, I think the better our party will do.
I think I'd match up great. I'm a job producer. I've had a great record. I haven't been involved in plagiarism. I think I would match up very well against Biden.
Two very important things we learned there. Martin O'Malley can multitask. He can eat,
walk and chew pork
he can
chop
walk,
at the same time.
Walk, chew, and talk,
and
speak a complete sentence. That's an important part of being president of the United States. Donald Trump never passes up an opportunity. Joe Biden's a hypothetical candidate, and he's got to take a shot at him anyway.
Well, yeah, Trump's going to be Trump. But in terms of some of the people that you're hearing, the names floated, Biden would probably hurt Hillary the worst. He's an establishment candidate. He's someone that could pull money away from her. I think, would he eventually beat her? I don't know. It just might weaken her. But, Democrats have to be wondering, are they cutting off their nose to spite their face if they get someone else in here?
Yeah, it definitely creates more of a problem, and that unity and inevitability they had all hoped for certainly has been destroyed. But does Biden really want to risk his legacy, spend the next 18 months doing this? I think that's got to be weighing on him, and especially his family, quite heavily.
The people having the conversations, they'll say they're doing a pretty thorough checklist. They're talking about budget issues. They're talking about deadlines.
He's got nothing to lose by doing that, because if anything, it might convince him not to do it.
Right. And so in the middle of all this, the Gore boomlet, the Gore, what to call it, trial balloon? Help me here. But I will say this. I covered the Clinton White House and the Gore campaign in 2000. There is no love lost between Al Gore and the Clintons. And there's no love lost between Al Gore and Hillary Clinton. So if you talk to people close to him, they say, boy, would he love to do it. But we talk about Jeb Bush being off the bike a long time.
Yeah, and that I think is the problem. I mean, as much as Al Gore would love to bring his climate change message into the forefront, this just seems like a long shot to beat all long shots.
The only potential benefit to him, he could probably afford to float himself, at least in the early months. He has all the money he's earned.
And he's from California now, not Tennessee, so he might have better luck in his home state. Oh, never mind, that was a cheap shot. Okay.